Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, Head Currency Analyst. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the market for the week ahead and what we can expect this week. So looking at our strength and weakness table for the week, not much has changed from last week. There is a few currencies that are gaining value as we expected and some losing value. So last week we talked about the potential for pound dollar to move lower, and you can see here that the strength and weakness table has highlighted that as well, that the pound lost -5 last week, and the dollar gained by 4 places. So we can see that the dollar is gaining value from that extreme area, and pound is losing value. So we expect that to continue this week. Pound is starting to creep into the extreme level, but we still expect some downside to come from the pound. We expect the dollar to continue to gain value, so we're looking for opportunities to continue to buy the US dollar, especially as seasonal reports show that the dollar through January does gain significant value. Australian dollar lost some ground last week, as we all saw from the Aussie US dollar charts, and again it's come up to an area of resistance where we could see some further downside. But for me, it's a focus on buying the US dollar against some weaker currencies, so that includes the euro, pound, Aussie, and Kiwi's just starting to lose a little bit of value as well. So mainly looking at those type of currencies against the US dollar this week. So we're going to take a look at some charts. Euro dollar, we shorted last week up at this 8-hour level, so I'll just bring that in. You can see here, this is where we shorted last week. We got out down here, and the market looks to have come back and retested these 8-hour, 4-hour lows again. So we could see another impulse come down into these lows. So still expecting our overall target that we marked out previously to be reached, but we're just looking for a potential new position on here. So if we go down the time frames and just zoom out a little bit, you can see that we're forming a really big bearish engulfing candle at these lows through here. So that's a key area where we could see another impulse. What we could also look at is the fact that price could be forming a head and shoulders pattern at this resistance. So you can see here we have the left shoulder, head. Are we going to get a little bounce up and then that continued move down? And first targets would obviously be these swing lows where the market found some decent support last week. So expecting this market to continue to the downside. We're going to wait to see how Monday plays out, wait for the US session to come into play as well, to give us a real idea of the direction of this market. But ultimately, in line with the strength and weakness chart, we want to be looking for those key shorting opportunities on euro dollar. Pound dollar is another one that we wanted to have a look at. Again, it's moving lower. We've broken through that 1.3 level on some bad pound data this morning, so we're expecting price to continue lower, especially into this 1.29 low. So if you're watching the pound, then you could look for some pullbacks into these key levels. So this 4-hour low here and that 1.3 would be a good area to look for some short opportunities, perhaps on a lower time frame into this 129 low. So if we go to that lower time frame, have a look at the hourly or even the 15-minute time frame. If price does creep back up into that level, you can see the market bounces nicely off those averages. So anything hourly would be nice to see. If we could get the position where the market pulls back up just a little bit above that 1.3 level, maybe 1.3020s, this key low in here. If anything comes in there and gives us an opportunity, we can look for further shorts in line with the strength and weakness table. Aussie dollar, so we saw Aussie break lower quite significantly last week, as the market found resistance here. We came through and closed quite significantly towards these lows. Now typically when the market does that, we do see a reversal in that current trend. So what I'm looking for in particular is the market to reject this area and come and test these lows again. Whether it continues further lower, then we have to wait until to see what the price does at these lows. But for the time being, there is a potential shorting opportunity forming. If we go take a look at the weekly, you can see that we had another bearish week here. So I'm expecting this market to test that wick low again. So looking at the 4 hour or even the 1 hour, you can see a similar sort of setup to euro dollar, where the market's pushed higher. We've come into some recent swing lows over here, and now we could be forming a little head and shoulders pattern. So what I'd like to see is, if the market did come and test this low here, is a rejection, come back up, test this resistance, and then look for further shorting opportunities here. Might be a little bit early to look for shorts there, despite us seeing some bearish divergence on this time frame. So you can see the market formed a higher high and the RSI formed a lower high in there. So there's some bearish divergence here as well, but you know, just waiting for Monday to get out the way really, before looking for those key short opportunities in line with the strength and weakness table. So this has been John Kibler, head currency analyst at Blueberry Markets. Hope you enjoyed this video update. If you did, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.